So you're a tech company, and you've got your sights set on the US mid-market. How do you break in? Today, we're digging into a really smart strategy for doing just that, all based on an article by Rodolfo Rizniz. It's about a model that's all about delivering fast, secure digital solutions. All right, let's get into it. For any tech leader out there, this is the question that keeps you up at night, right? Do you push for that breakneck speed of innovation to stay ahead of the competition? Or do you slow down and build that fortress of security and compliance to keep the company safe? It feels like you're being forced to choose, and the pressure is just immense. And if you want to see where this pressure really hits home, look no farther than the chief information officer at a mid-market company. This is the person we're focusing on today. They are caught in this strategic vice, getting squeezed from one side by the demand for new tech, and from the other by the absolute need for tight security. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to put ourselves in the shoes of these CIOs and really understand their dilemma. Then, we'll unpack this governance-first solution that's designed to fix it. We'll look at how it actually plays out in the real world, pinpoint what makes it different, and finally lay out a step-by-step guide for actually using it to enter the market. So first things first, let's really dig into this core challenge. We're talking about companies that are in that tricky middle ground between 250 and 2,000 employees. They have the kind of complex problems you'd see at a huge enterprise, but they definitely don't have the same massive budgets or teams to solve them. This is the tightrope these CIOs are walking every single day. They have to innovate faster than ever, but they're chained to these tight budgets and really strict regulations. Things like HIPAA and healthcare, which is all about protecting patient data, or Sarbanes-Oxley in finance, where if you mess up, the penalties are huge. And to top it all off, the leadership team wants to see a return on their investment, like yesterday. So how in the world do you solve a puzzle like that? Well, this is where the article's big idea comes in. It's a model called Governance First Quick Wins, and it's built specifically to turn this entire conflict into a major strategic advantage. And here's the genius of it. Governance isn't the finish line, it's the starting block. It's not some annoying thing you tack on at the end, it's baked right in from day one. The model finds these common business headaches and turns them into prepackaged, super secure solutions. This directly tackles a CIO's worst nightmare, what they call shadow IT, where employees start using unauthorized apps that create all kinds of security risks. The whole thing really stands on these four pillars. First, the solutions are packaged. That means no surprises, no projects that drag on forever. Second, speed. We're talking real results in just 4 to 8 weeks, which is a timeline that gets the board's attention. Third, that integrated governance, which stops security risks before they can even start. And finally, the price. It's fixed, it's clear, and it's right in that sweet spot for a mid-market budget. It makes saying yes a whole lot easier. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at the results, because the proof is in the pudding. We're going to see how it impacts 3 really important industries. Okay, first up, finance. This is an industry where rules like Sarbanes-Oxley mean you can't afford to make mistakes. So the model comes in and automates things like credit approvals. The result? Things move 30% faster. And this is the crucial part. Every single step is traceable. So when the auditors show up, you've got everything they need, guaranteeing 100% compliance. That's not just efficiency, that's peace of mind. Now, let's jump over to healthcare. Think about all the paperwork, like patient consents and checklists. This model swaps that out for easy-to-use mobile apps, which cuts the registration time in half. But even more important, it gives the hospital total control over who sees sensitive medical data, ensuring they're always HIPAA compliant. In healthcare, that's absolutely non-negotiable. And we see this same logic working in higher education. That slow, painful onboarding process for new students and staff, it gets digitized, and boom, it's 40% faster. The model also provides these incredible dashboards that give universities real insight into student retention, all while making sure they're following student privacy rules like FERPA. Okay, so we've seen it works. The results are there. But in a super crowded market like the US, what really makes this model stand out from the pack? Let's break down the 3 things that give it a serious competitive edge. Just look at this comparison. It's night and day. For a CIO, going with a traditional giant integrator usually means waiting a year or more, watching costs spiral out of control, and then having a whole separate, painful project just for governance. The quick win model completely flips that. It's fast, the cost is fixed, and it's secure from the get-go. For that mid-market CIO, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it? So in the end, its competitive advantage really comes down to three things. First, that obsessive governance-first approach. Second, the speed and predictability that CIOs are desperate for. And third, this is really interesting, a multicultural and bilingual profile. That creates a huge advantage and a real connection in diverse markets like Texas, Florida, and Georgia. So the model is compelling. The edge is clear. But how do you actually put it into practice? Well, the article doesn't just leave you hanging. It lays out a crystal clear four-step blueprint for any company that wants to use this strategy to break into the US. Here's the playbook, step by step. It all starts with credibility. You've got to earn those official Microsoft certifications to show you know your stuff. Next up is visibility. Get your solutions listed on the big marketplaces where customers are already shopping. Then comes trust. This is huge. You have to land those first key clients and turn their success stories into powerful case studies. And finally, you scale by teaming up with strategic partners who can help you reach a much bigger audience. And this one quote from the article just nails the whole idea. It's not about making a choice between moving fast and being safe. It's about figuring out how to do both and delivering real results in a timeline that businesses actually care about. And this entire strategy comes from Rodolfo Rosinas' article. It's just a fantastic example of how, if you can truly understand your customer's biggest conflict, you can build a model that doesn't just solve their problem, it can give you a clear, powerful path to winning an entire market.